हरि ओं नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य व्याकरणशास्त्रप्रवेशकक्षायाः पञ्चचत्वारिंशत् दिनम्. So this is a Rutva Prakaranam which contains in our syllabus we have total 7 sutrams. Satra Anunasikaha Purvasituva, Anunasikat Paranuswaraha, and then Samaha Suti until we have Kanamredite. So there are 7 sutrams, and out of this there are 2 sutrams. First 2 sutrams are Adhikara sutrams. Atra Anunasikaha Purvasituva, Anunasikat Paranuswaraha. These 2 sutrams are Adhikara sutrams, and remaining whatever we have, the 5. Remaining 5 sutrams are actual Vidhi sutrams. Samaha Suti, Pumaha Kayyam Pare, Naschavya Prasha, Nrun Pe, Anantram Kanam Redite. So all these are Vidhi sutrams. So what we are trying to do here is, with all these sutrams, the Ru is placed in the Prakriya somewhere. Somewhere in the Prakriya, we place Ru. And these 2 Adhikara sutrams, what they talk about is, if Ru is placed, what should be done? That will be discussed in these 2 Adhikara sutrams. Okay, and then the another Kharavasaniya Visarjaniyaha that comes in and replaces the Ru with something else. So there is first thing is the first Vidhi Sutram comes in. Vidhi Sutram says where we need to place Ru, and the Adhikara Sutram, these 2 Adhikara Sutrams, they say that what we need to do if Ru is placed. And after that remaining Sutrams, after Karavasaniya Visarjanaha or any other Sutram, they come and say what we need to do with Ru later. Okay, so there are 3 things. First thing is placing the Ru at somewhere in the Prakriya, and second, doing some additional actions if Ru is placed, and third is replacing Ru with something else finally, because Ru is something intermediate form which you cannot use it in the final form. So Ru is temporarily placed to do some additional actions, and after that we are going to replace Ru with something else like Visarga. So that's the overall Prakriya pattern here. So now let's talk about first sutram, then we'll get some idea. So Samaha Suti, there are 2 words, Samaha Shashti Ekavachanantam Rupam, Suti, Suti iti Saptami Ekavachanantam Rupam. Tatra Anuvrittihi Matvaso Ru Sambuddho Chandasi ityasmat Ru iti Anvartate. So this is where the Ru comes from. This Matvaso Ru Sambuddho Chandasi, this is a previous sutram to Atra Anunasikaha Purvasituva. So basically Matvasoru, that sutram comes before this, from where the Ru is carried forward till Kanam Redite. So that's where it is called, the entire set is called as Rutva Prakaranam. The Ru is actually carried forward. First thing. And Artham Pashyamaha, Atra Samaha ityanena Sam Upasargasya iti Arthaha. Sashti Ekavachanantam Rupam Sthani Nirnayaha Kritaha. Punaha Suti ityanena Saptami Ekavachanantam Rupam Sudagame Pare. Suti iti Agamaha Sudagame Pare iti Arthaha. Ru iti anuvartate Ataha Ru ityanena Ru Adeshaha Bhavati iti Arthaha. Atra kim uchyate? Sam Upasargasya Ru Adeshaha Bhavati Sudagamat Purvam. Yatra Sudagamaha Bhavati, Sudagamat Purvam yatra Sam Upasargaha Bhavati, Tadanim Sam Upasargasya Ru Adeshaha Bhavati iti Artha. So now, when will Sudagama comes, we have seen already. Sam Paribhyam Karoto Bhushane ityanena Bhushanarthe Kru Dhatoho Sam Upasarge Tatha Pari Upasarge cha Sudagamaha Bhavati iti Nyatam. Yadam Yatra Tatha Sudagamaha Bhavati, Sudagamat Purvam Sam Upasargaha Bhavati. So Sudagama can come in 2 cases, one with Pari and one with Sam. So here in this sutra, only with Sam Upasarga plus Sudagama comes. In that case, Sam Upasarga gets Ru Adesha. So hope this is clear. So now what happens? So Sam plus Sut plus Karta, this is Arambha Sthitihi. Satra Samupasargasya Ru Adeshaha Bhavati. Ru Adeshaha Antima Varnasya Sthane Bhavati. You can go back and check the Adesha Vidhanam. So where it will come, the Ru Adesha, it comes in the end, last letter of, it will replace the last letter of the Sam. So Sam plus Sut Karta So some सकारः कर्ता किमर्थं टकारस्य लोपः उकारस्य अपि लोपः सकारः एव अवशिष्यते सम् प्लस् सकारः प्लस् कर्ता इदानीं रु इत्येतत्तु so I just combine sakara and karta because this is one set going forward because sudagamah adyavayavah bhavati kru dhatoh. So after attaching sudagama skarta is one set, sakara plus karta is one set and sam is another set. So now ru adesha comes at the place of sam. Why? Sam plus sudagama is there. So in this case sam gets the ru adesha. The ru adesha happens at the makara sthana, the last letter of sam. So it becomes sa plus ru plus skarta. And this is the final form at this for this sutram. This sutram just says sam gets the ru adesha. So this is where this sutram ends. So hope this is clear. So here again remember sa is not a one letter. There are two letters sakaraha akaraha plus ru. Punaha ru ityatra repaha punaha ukaraha or anunasika ukaraha plus sakaraha plus karta. So this is a complete sequence here. Okay, as I said earlier, this sutram is a rutva vidhayaka sutram. So it just instructs us where to place ru shabda or ru varna samudaya. Now we will see the adhikara sutrams like atra anunasikaha purvasya tuva anunasikat paranuswaraha. These two sutrams are the adhikara sutrams for this entire rutva prakaranam. They instruct what we need to do once ru is placed somewhere in the prakriya. Okay, so now let's talk about those two sutrams. So atra anunasikaha purvasya tuva. So what it says is that there are 5 words. Atra avyayam anunasikaha pratama ekavachanantam rupam purvasya sashti ekavachanantam rupam tu avyayam va iti avyayam. Atra kim uchyate atra itinena asmin adhikare asmin rutva adhikare kim karaniyam iti uchyate. Atra, so it just starts with atra. Atra means in this particular adhikara. So anunasikaha atra anunasikaha bhavati iti uchyate. Atra anunasikaha adeshaha anunasika adeshaha bhavati asmin adhikare. Atra asmin adhikare, in this adhikara anunasika adesha happens. Where it happens? Purvasya. Before it happens before kasmat purvam roho purvasya. Atra ru iti stapidam. Asmin adhikare ru ityasya vidhanam bhavati. Ru vidhanat param ru roho purvam yedasti tasya anunasikaha adeshaha bhavati iti uchyate. Atra vikalpena bhavati. So now let's take that particular form. Sam sut karta, sam sakaraha karta, sam skarta. Still here no sudagama, no ruttuma happened. Now the next rutvam happens. The rutvam happens at the sam. Why? Samaha suti ityanena samupasargasya ru adeshaha bhavati makarasya sthane atah sa ru skarta. This is where we stopped in the previous sutram. So now when you split sakara, sakaraha, akaraha, ru, skarta. So till here this current sutram is not applied. Now the current sutram, the adhikara sutram, what it says is, in this current adhikara, if anywhere the ru is placed somewhere in the prakriya, then we need to have anunasika adesha for the letter which is just before ru. So before ru, what is there? Akara is there, not sakara. Before ru, akara is there. If ru is placed somewhere in the prakriya, before ru, akara is there, that akara gets anunasika adesha. So anunasika adesha means there are 18 varieties of akara. The anunasika equivalent variation of that akara will be placed at the place of previous letter for ru. So in that case, hrasva ananunasikaha atva niranunasika akaraha anunasika akaraha bhavati. So this is the change prescribed by this particular sutra. If ru is placed, the previous varna, if it is a swara or anything, doesn't matter, but if it is that equivalent anunasika varna adesha comes as the replacement. So it becomes sakaraha, anunasika akaraha, ru, sakaraha, karta. So remember here, akaraha, anunasikaha, akaraha, there is not it's not two varnas, it's one single varna, akaraha, it's one of the variations of akara. And the next letter, ru ityatra varna dvayam asti, repaha, punaha, ukaraha, anunasikaha. Okay, this is the step, and the final form looks something like this. When you combine sakara plus anunasika akara, sa, ru, skarta iti rupa. This is the final form as per up to this particular adhikara sutra. So this adhikara, so this action happens for each one of the sutrams in that list. If you see the list here, samaha suti, pumaha kayyam pare, for all, in all these sutrams the ru is placed somewhere in the prakriya, and when the moment ru is placed, the adhikara sutram kicks in and it makes the previous varna as anunasika varna optionally. Okay, so this is what we need to know. Okay, the next one is again one more adhikara sutram, that is anunasikat paro anuswaraha. This is the second adhikara sutram for the same rutva prakaranam. So this again instructs another action for ru. The first sutram says the previous varna gets the anunasika adesha, and this sutram says what? Let's see that. Okay, so there are three padams. Anunasikat panchame ekavachananta rupam, paraha prathama ekavachananta rupam, anuswaraha prathama ekavachananta rupam, matvaso ru sambaddho chandasi ityasmat ru ityasya anuvartanam. Idanim padartham pashyamaha. Anunasikat इत्यनेन अनुनासिक वर्णात् भिन्नः कश्चन अन्यः वर्णः भवति चेत् इति अर्थः. We will see the meaning later. And next one is parah इत्यनेन parasthane, after that. And next one is anuswaraha bhavati, punaha anuswaraha iti adeshah. So what it says is, if there is any letter other than anunasika, then after that we'll get anuswara. So now we'll see the previous adhikara sutram. Previous adhikara sutram says is, before ru, the varna gets the anunasika adesha vikalpa. Optionally we get anunasika adesha. So what happens is, if the previous varna to ru, if it is ach varna or something which can get anunasika adesha, it can get anunasika adesha, and the rule itself is optional. Atra anunasikaha purvasya tu va, there is a va there. So the previous anunasika adesha itself is optional. So if you apply anunasika adesha, then there is no problem. But if you don't apply the anunasika adesha, then you will have some other letter other than anunasika varna before ru. So what this sutram says is, if before ru, if you find any other letter other than anunasika varna, then anuswara comes after that. That's what this sutram says. Let's see that example. Atra sam sut karta, sam sakaraha karta, sam skarta, then sa ru skarta till samaha suti. Then what happens? Sa a ru skarta and sa a ru skarta and sa ru skarta. So this is the prakriya for previous adhikara sutram. So where this previous adhikara sutram starts, from here, this anuswara anunasika akara happens because of the previous adhikara sutram, that is optional. Optional means if it does not happen, if it does not replace akara with anunasika varna, then this sutram kicks in. What this sutram says, if varna before ru is not anunasika, then anuswara comes after that varna. That's what this sutram says. That means either you have to apply first adhikara sutram or you have to apply the second adhikara sutram. That's what overall it actually looks like. If you are getting it, if you are applying the first adhikara sutram, both adhikara sutrams cannot enter at the same time. The moment first adhikara sutram does its job, you will get anunasika swara. Then if you get Anunasika Swara, then the second Adhikara Sutram cannot work. So the both cannot work together. If first, either first works or the second works. If first works, then Akara gets Anunasika Akara. If second works, this Sutram comes, then the Anuswara comes as a Adesha. Where it comes, in the second case, the Anunasika Adesha does not happen as per the first Adhikara Sutram. The Akara stays as it is. If Akara stays as it is, the second Adhikara Sutram says, if Anunasika Varna is not there before Ru, then Anuswara comes after the previous Varna. That's what this Sutram says. So as per that, the previous Varna is not Anunasika Varna, it's a regular Akara. So we add Anuswara Adesha after Akara. So what final form is, there's a bottom stroke missing for Sakara. I'm sorry. So it's the Sakaraha, Akaraha, Anuswaraha, Ru, Skarta. It's a sequence. When you club all of them, Sam, Ru, Skarta. This is a form here. So till here we get two forms. One with Anunasika Yukta Rupam, Aparam tu Niranunasika Rupam, Atra Anuswara Yukta Rupamekam. So these are two forms we get at this point. Yeah, so we have completed till here. Atra Anunasikaha Purvasetuva, Anunasikat Paranuswaraha. With these we get two forms. And we stop here and we take remaining 3 steps in the next session. Okay, so at the end of these steps we get total 4 forms. And just out of curiosity, those who are interested, just for them. So there are more than 100 different forms you can get for Samskrita or this particular Samskarta itself. Okay, but not all of them are actually in use and not all of them are actually pronounceable. But these 4 are quite popular forms we generally see in the usages, and this is enough for Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi level, but there are other forms as well. But it's all like, we apply all the rules. There are a lot of optional sutrams are there. If you apply each one of the optional sutram, they becomes doubled. For example, 1, because of this sutram we get 1 becomes 2, and because of this last optional sutram 2 becomes 4. And there are a few other optional sutrams. If you keep applying it, 4 becomes 8, 6 like that. And finally it goes more than 100 forms for this particular Samskrita word itself. But not all of them are pronounceable. But if you see, that's where we get very big question like how to pronounce basic word Sanskritam. The language name itself is questionable how to pronounce that word. So Adyatana Sankshepaha Adya Nascha Shituk Namo Raswadachi Namo Nityamityana Agamadhikaranam Vayam Samapitavantaha Nascha Ityatra Dhuragamaha Shituk Ityatra Tugagamaha Namo Raswadachi Namo Nityamityatra Trayaha Agamaha Asmabhihi Patitaha Punaha Molapatam Drishtavantah Tataha Param Rutva Prakaranam Drishtavantah Rutva Prakarane Ru iti Vidhiyate Ru ityasya Kim Karaniyam Ityanena Tatra Adhikara Sutram Dvayam Drishtam Atra Anunasikaha Purvasya Tuva Ityanena Ru ityasmat Purvam Vidyamanasya Varnasya Anunasika Adeshaha Bhavati Yadi Anunasika Adeshaha Na Bhavati Vikalpena Na Bhavati Chet Tatra Anunasikat Paranuswaraha Ityanena Adhikara Sutrena Tatra Purutana Varnasya Varnat Param Anuswaraha Tatra Bhavati Iti Drishtam. Hastu Dhanyavadaha Vayam Agrima Kakshayam Melishyamaha.